This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They're brought out by the rookie making his first NFL start. Much anticipated from UCLA. Here's Josh Rosen.
When you think of some of the most successful quarterbacks in Arizona Cardinals history, you think of guys like Carson Palmer, Kurt Warner, Jake Plummer. But none of them began their career with the Cardinals. They would like to have their own homegrown guy. Could Josh Rosen be that guy? They drafted him number 10 in 2018. They're looking forward to watching him develop.
All right, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
And throws like that tell you exactly why the Cardinals made the move from number 15 in the draft up to number 10 to take Josh Rosen out of UCLA. Big arm thrower, probably the best arm talent coming out in the draft in 2018. They're going to build their offense around him, and they'll push the ball downfield.
And if that arm's tired postgame, there's nothing that 30 minutes in a hot tub can't fix. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Here we go now. Blue, landed.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
To throw is Rosen. And Gresham has it left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, step it back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And Johnson on an island by himself in the backfield, 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up. And it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone. And now it's blocked. And the Redskins have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
But there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax. Whoa.
Bad move. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend, show that he's right.
I said 180!
They go play action here on 1st down. And that is incomplete here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Smith now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards up. The play. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. And off comes to Peterson. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
I said 180!
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. Play action. It's Smith. And Reed with it over the middle. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Smith finding his big tight end Reed for a Redskins first. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. Touchdown, Washington! Adrian Peterson, 30 yards. And the Redskins have tied it here. The extra point to come can put them in the driver's seat.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is T.J. Logan to return it. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well. Because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And now it's Rosen looking, and this is going to be incomplete. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins making their way out. Last year, a fairly quiet 7-9. Now, the big change, of course, for 2018 here, exit Kirk Cousins, enter Alex Smith at quarterback. What does that change?
The change is that you have a quarterback who takes care of the football in a big way, but still can deliver it downfield. Alex Smith has such a reputation for being careful that it's overblown. He will take the shot downfield. If receivers shake free, get open, he'll deliver it. The other part of that, they get an offensive line. If they can get health there and have consistency up front, that offense can move, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to compete in the NFC East.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. They'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Eluding the pressure right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
All right, let's be frank. You hate the fumble at the end of the play, but prior to that, I liked a lot of what was going on. Tucks it down, takes off, picks up good yardage. But in that portion of the field, that close to the sideline,
step out.
Yeah, either get down or get out of bounds. Take care of the ball.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Matt Ioannidis. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked.
Here we go.
That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Oh, hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Smith. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A shotgun snap for Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thompson. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Smith on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. That's good for a Redskin 1st down. Richardson on the reception from Smith.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Smith. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, Smith. It's Alex Smith's 1st touchdown pass as a Washington Redskin. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Detroit!
Final play of the half here. It's Rosen. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. And that is incomplete. So we've reached halftime here. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the 1st half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies and try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the 1st half.
We'll see if they do just that. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On the ground, it's Thompson. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Over the middle, complete. That's Reed. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll run with Thompson. And a solid run down inside the 30. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Rosen looking to throw. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Ryan Kerrigan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Kerrigan, the former Purdue Boilermaker, making some noise there.
And do you realize in the last 5 years that only Chandler Jones of Arizona has more sacks in the NFL than Ryan Kerrigan?
You don't. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Preston Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now it's Crowder. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. And his throw is incomplete. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Smith. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. There goes Larry Fitzgerald. Touchdown, Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score.
I don't care how calm, cool, collected you carry yourself. I don't care how contained you are in your emotions. Your first touchdown pass in the NFL is awfully special. And Josh Rosen is always going to put out the vibe that, hey, I do this all the time. But inside, he's got to be so excited to have that first taste of success in the league.
Now Rosen will lead him up here to go for two. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he's not going to get in as a try for two comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, have a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And he finds the tight end, Reed. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
On 3rd down. That's Thompson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And for Darius Geis, this is his first NFL carry. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a first and goal. Here's Smith. He'll check it down to Geis. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. So we just witnessed touchdown number 1 for the Rook, and certainly that's a football he's going to want for the trophy case.
Yeah, this is one that you don't spike, right? This is one you don't throw to your teammate and let them celebrate. This is one you keep for yourself, take it over to the equipment staff, and have them mark it up, put it away, and then you get it later on, and as you said, mount it in your trophy case. Fantastic. Hopefully the first of many.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at about the 32.
Leopard!
Rosen off the play action. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now it's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Blue 90! Leopard!
Here's Rosen. Showing the strength, Fitzgerald. And he's got Fitzgerald. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Rosen. And he slings one that's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing again, it's Rosen. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route. and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Reuben Foster picks it, and not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now Thompson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Geis with the carry on second down. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special. Every year, week 1, you had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo.
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them. How to make it in America. Real day one, ain't a lot of us. Mom worked 2 jobs, it was hard for us. Me and sis made it out, now she proud of us. They didn't teach me how to rap in those private schools. Wasn't like my rich friends, had a lot to lose. Less money, less options, lot of rules. So when that first deal came, it was opportune. And shorty got potential, I scout that. She say she in love, but I doubt that. Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shorty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance.